All right, here, journey to giving. There we go. Let me share something very important that is on my mind. I'm actually going to share my screen and then we're going to talk about that before we go ahead and make more content relating to like purity of mind. And I'm saying here directly in the description is that I am going to, you know, commit myself to, where is it? Purity and spiritual awakening and marriage. So I have ruled this out that I'm going to have any casual sexual relationships with women. This is outruled. I will not do that. Marriage, that's what it is. And then I see these YouTube channels of Mr. Conan Woodman talking about God wants you to start creating, and all the videos where he mentioned God, I see it in the clarity in his eyes. There's some kind of purity and innocence in his face. And then we see Miss Esther Richter, and I looked at that and I always thought, well, she doesn't really put a lot of attention on editing as well as, right, as well as, yeah, generally editing. But, I was thinking, look, or thumbnails, that's what I mean. If you are a woman and you look as good as she does, both men and women want to watch your channel. So I was explaining that to me because as a woman, being beautiful is a very desirable thing. As a man, being handsome, obviously also. So handsome people are very desirable, and especially on YouTube, people like to consume that. And I'm like, okay, well, I just gonna keep creating, and eventually at some point I will hit these numbers. And I really thought, okay, she's been doing that for a while. And she's obviously very attractive. That might be the reason why she's getting these types of views, although she's basically just recording herself on her blog. Because she does look like a model, right? She actually really does. With God, all things are possible. It's great. And so then I looked at Mr. Conor Woodman getting similar results, and I'm like, nah, man, there's something else here.
Fine. The problem was
some purity. And so I have made the first step of actually committing to marriage and purity, and although I'm still on the dating apps on the phone, I'm really rejecting every opportunity for just casual relationships. This is out of my mind. We will not do this anymore. Yet on the other hand, since a few months, I've bought myself a penis extender, which is basically like a little suction thing that you strap around your leg, and it pulls your member down and enlarges it over a few months, kind of like muscle growth, kind of micro fractures, and then it grows like a muscle would, right? The tissue grows, enlarges. And so I'm like, all right, the reason why I'm not making this God type of content, although I'm reading the Bible and although I'm actually doing everything right, is because of this one thing. This is still very impure. Why do I need a bigger penis? Especially because I already have an above average penis. You know what I mean? It's like, I do not need this at all. And I've been told it's just right. It's like, much bigger hurts. I've been told by a woman. And so I'm like, I'm actually completely enough. And that brings me into this process of like making peace with myself the way that I am. But here's the question, making peace with it because you can't change it. I've done that in the past and that worked. But now that I actually have it on my hands to change it and it starts seeing the results and it actually seems to really start working, I'm like, okay, now with the choice of the potentiality of making it bigger, would I then really not do it? Right? Can I say no to that? Can I say no to the temptation? And the question is also, what kind of other temptations will I then not be saying no to if I don't start here? And so then also part of me wants to say, like, well, start making this God type of content with the final purity in a few months once you've completed the treatment. Because still, the commitment to marriage, that's clean. And I'm like, this penis will only be for the one wife that I'm going to be committed to. And this is my commitment and this will not change. Part of me, also my rational mind, justifies and says like, well, if it's really big and, there may be a different level of power in a way that, you get perceived by other people and judged also how your wife treats you. And if she knows not only do I have the skill and the capability, but also the size, which is intimidating and a little bit hurtful, which can be not bad at times. Doesn't have to be like over the top kind of hurtful, but like if she's genuinely intimidated by it, it may be quite a good thing, right? Especially when I then know how to hold back and don't need it, which is the whole practice of that at all, so that I am in control of that. And not only do I not need intercourse right now to be happy and functioning, also within a relationship I will not need intercourse to be happy and functioning, which makes me be in a very good position of like, of course I will want to give that to her and she to me, right? And receive that from her. But I don't need it. And so I think this will get the relationship to a great level and myself into a great position where she really feels like, okay, he does not need me in that sense. Then she may really trust and open completely. And so part of me wants to say is like, well, what really helps you in how you're being perceived as a man is how your woman treats you. And obviously not only that contributes to that, but I'm thinking if that is genuinely a 10 out of 10 experience for her, it will absolutely contribute to that. I mean, I know that that is true. And so part of me wants to say is like, well, do it for like another few months, grow it like a little bit more, and then just stop it and be okay with it. On the other hand, I'm seeing these results and I know that it is wrong in a way. And then I want to justify it to myself that I'm saying is like, well, I go to the gym as well and change my body, but that's different. That really is different. If you grow your muscles, that's really noble. If you grow your penis, I don't know, is it wrong? Is it really wrong? If I'm doing this just for like my one woman, I don't know. I'm just starting to see this content and I'm like, he doesn't put any attention to the editing. He put the attention on who he is, on his, who he is. Well, I just wanted to share that. Lessons on purity. And now we're going to take a 10-minute rest and then we're going to start speaking in more content, reading it from the document. And I know that that's not a big deal, but on the other hand, yeah, I like the idea of being a little bit bigger just for the sake of, giving her a bit better experience overall, being a little bit more intimidating, even more, and creating a certain pull where she's like, man, I don't know when this is going to happen next, but it was a great experience, right? And so, I just want to share that path of purity, but I'm absolutely committed to marriage and purity. There will be no casual relations at all. This is outruled. I've overcome that. That is done, spoken and done. And it feels like this is now the next step. The next step of really accepting myself, because I've made peace with that in the past. Look, when I grew up, I always thought like I was kind of small until I really realized that I just measured incorrectly. It's actually above average. We don't have to go into the detail, but now that I know how generally scientifically it's measured, I'm like, okay, well, that's actually above average, and I'm like, okay, that's not bad at all. I can be okay with that. I can be completely make peace with that. And so since I then actually made peace with that, I was told by women, which never happened before, that it's kind of big. And I'm like, how did that happen? Just with a shift of belief, I'm like, this is crazy. I always thought of myself, I have to hide myself and be insecure because it's too little. And then once I shifted my belief, although nothing physically changed, the perception completely changed. And so I'm like right now, well, if I just wear this device for like a month or two, we'll grow just a little bit, not because I need it, just to have the experience of seeing that device work. But it's really interesting how to handle all of that energy and how to do the right things, How to do just all of the right things and have this energy under control so that it flows into the right actions and directions towards the heaven, towards God. And so that I can confidently then speak about God and purity and marriage also. The question is also going to be, as I'm sucking the cacao from my fingers with nervousness, it's like, why do I need it at all? Why do I have this inner conflict that I exactly had with the marriage as well? Well, I was like, man, for months I was like trying to justify that in my mind. until it became important enough for me to really do everything right now. Maybe it just would take like another step of seriousness, like a war, for me to really say, it's like, okay, I'm going to put everything in my power, onto this path of healing. And I've stopped it already for like a few weeks, and then I've taken it back up a few weeks ago now. And so like part of me is like, okay, just follow the plan, you've committed to that, just wear it for like a month or two, and then throw it the fuck away. Right? Then you're going to have the experience of it, it's going to be alright, it's not going to be a major sin, and it's going to be alright. But part of me knows, why wouldn't I throw it away right now? But also part of me goes, like, it's my right to do that. It's like, I can train my body, I can put the thing on my cheeks to make my beard grow. It's like, I don't think that this is biblically wrong at all. But down there, some kind of enlargement, I do think that this is coming from some kind of impure place, and I'm really looking into of like me being okay with myself. But as I'm talking this through, I'm like, okay, let me finish that treatment for like another month or two, and it helps me to speak this through, right? Let me finish that. Let me finish what I'm starting and own that. And then I am going to share all of that. This is going to be part of my story. And it's going to be okay. All right, decision made. Let's go.